Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And we appreciate you guys like no one's business. Yeah, we love you. Thank you for coming on. And let's see, as you get your notifications this morning, let me say hello to a few friends. And as we like to do when I can see you, let me see here if I have that opportunity this morning. 10 minutes. Yeah, I should be able to say hello again. And Kathy, you are number one on the hit parade this morning. Okay? Good for you. Okay? And Rosalinda, right at the top. Brahim, how are you, my friend? Janice, Elaine from St. John's, Newfoundland. Fran from Orangeville. Fran, you know I almost miss you every morning. I don't know why, but not this morning. I got you. Babita, how are you from Brampton? Jude, Bonnie, Little Britain. Jose, how are you? Sandy, Chilliwack, British Columbia. Vashti, how are you from Windsor? Yvonne, how are you? Lisa, good morning. Maria, Danny Lay, Iron Bridge. Wendy from Markham. Karen, Janine, Cindy, Lise, Rose, John. Patricia from Florida. Dennis from Norwich. Sandy, Fergus Falls, Minnesota. We love you dearly. Where's Kevin? Cheryl, West Virginia. Marl, Wanda, Jude. Where's Doc McEwen? Carrie. I can't. How are you, Carrie? Is this your first time saying hello to me or not? I'd like to know that. Cheryl from Alabama. How are you, Cheryl from Alabama? Thanks for coming on. Patricia, Luella, West Tennessee. How are you? Yvonne, Frida from Devlin. And Rhoda, Labrador. How are you, Rhoda? You get Hearst, Ontario. Brenda, Darlene from Alberta. Patricia saying hi to everyone. Norma from Texas. Linda, Nativity. How are you, Arlene? I'm going to say hello to Yalaun, but I don't see her name. Sandy, Vancouver, Washington. Judy, how are you? Judy's birthday today, 71 years young. You're still a puppy. Judy, happy birthday to you. Love you. Thanks for coming on. I know you're a regular, and good for you. Happy birthday. Hey, guys, if you have a birthday like that, would you just let me know? And we'll, I won't sing, but we'll wish you a happy birthday. Hi, Rita. Francis from Vaughan, Cynthia, Lise, and saying hello to Kevin. Maureen, there she is from Boca Raton. Wanda from Virginia. Judy, Karen, Tina, Lisa, Marie, Beverly. I love you guys. Fran is saying that Kevin was number 2 on her list. Kevin, I still haven't seen your name yet. Judy. Linda, St. Jude, Quebec. Cecilia, Paul, Edmonton. There's Kevin. I finally saw your name, Kevin. Rai, from Pakistan. Is that how you say your name? Rai, or it's R-A-I. Rhea? How do you say your name? How do I pronounce it? But thank you for coming on from Pakistan. Diane, Elaine, Cheryl, so many. Chaz, how are you from Maryland? Cecilia, Milika, we love you. Veronica, oh, you guys. Rhoda, thanks for coming on. Okay, let's get to these questions. I know I always going to miss some people. I really appreciate you guys big time. Okay, we love to say hello too, but it's not, sometimes it just falls through the cracks. I don't know why. Okay, let's get to our questions this morning. The first one on my list is Elaine asking about she thinks she has low stomach acid. Okay. Why would this happen? Well, the number one reason that people get low stomach acid. Okay, now, okay, let me explain, just because there's always new people on, okay? One of the biggest problems in the stomach is you don't have enough acidity. That's a huge problem. People think, well, yeah, but doc, I got acid reflux. Don't I have too much acid? Well, you have too much acid in the wrong place. It's now in your esophagus. That acidity belongs in your stomach. You should have more acidity in a stomach than a lion. The number one reason, Elaine, that people have low acidity is because they eat the wrong foods. Your stomach was designed to be a protein digester, a protein furnace, fat and protein in nature. Eggs, meat, cheese, dairy. When you eat that way, your stomach is working at its highest level, and you need all that acidity to break down protein. Now, let's say you're not a big protein eater. You don't even think about it, but you like your fruits and vegetables and salads and maybe breads and grains and sugars. Well, now your body, which wasn't designed to live on that stuff. I'm not saying you can never eat it. I'm just saying this is science, guys. Your stomach was designed to eat meat. How do I know that? Because of the pH of the stomach. It's designed to be a furnace, big time, more than a lion. Okay? I've never followed a lion around, but I don't think it spends its time eating vegetables. You? No. It likes meat. And you got more acidity in your stomach, or at least you should, than a lion. Why? Why? And folks, you know me. I've been talking about this for a long time. We eat the wrong foods. You see, if you want to be living on salad, okay, well, you need 4 stomachs. Okay, that's what a cow has. A cow eats grass, salad. Salad is just glorified grass. Now, am I telling you can never have it? No. But think of it. A cow needs 4 stomachs to digest that. A cow doesn't eat meat. You eat its meat. You eat the cow. Okay? Now, so, Elaine, the number one reason that you would have low acidity is the wrong food. Okay? As we get older, reason number 2, as we get older, we often don't have enough acidity in our stomach. Okay? It's just part of aging. 3, okay? You've been on, over the years, PPIs, proton pump inhibitors. So your stomach has proton pumps. You know what they secrete? Acid. Well, how could you have low acid? Well, you had acid reflux, and therefore you started taking PPIs, and they decreased your acidity in your stomach. They work. But there's a boatload of side effects to that. Okay? Lowering your acidity, now your immune system doesn't work as well, because your stomach, not only is it made to eat protein and fat, but your stomach is one of your best defenses. Why? Because if you have good acidity in your stomach, the bacteria can't live in that. okay? Because it's a furnace. It gets burnt. So today we see so much H. pylori. H. pylori gets activated. You know why? You don't have enough acidity in your stomach. So one of your body's biggest part of its immune system is your stomach when it's got a pH of about 1.3 to 2 or so. But if it gets higher than that, your immune system isn't working as well. Okay, it's a big part of that. So those are the main reasons, Elaine. And remember, if you think you have low acidity in your stomach, okay, if you think you have low acidity in your stomach, you ought to be on digestive enzymes, broad spectrum digestive enzymes, be on probiotics. They help your stomach. They really do. Okay? So, maybe a little bit of apple cider vinegar, balsamic. Okay? I like that stuff. Okay. Good question. Thank you very much. And that was Elaine. Kim. Kim has a cow in her backyard. You're serious, aren't you, Kim? She's on day 13 of the reset. Kim, I love you dearly. Okay? What's your question? Here it is. Doc, how much milk? She has a cow in the backyard. She's asking how much milk she can drink without taking herself out of ketosis. Okay, so what is ketosis? Okay, what is ketosis? It's when your body is burning fat, ketones, rather than carbs, sugars. Okay, your body you either burn carbs or you burn ketones. If you're burning a lot of carbs, it's impossible to burn ketones. Okay? And you know me, I talk about that all the time. The better fuel. So when you're on the reset, your body goes into a very, very pure, powerful burning. A wood stove with logs. What a burn. And then you're burning off ketones. Very, very good for you. That's called ketosis. Okay? So, how much milk can you drink? Well, if you have really a cow in the backyard and you're drinking that pure milk, Kim, I don't think any amount's going to bring you out of ketosis. You got so much fat in that milk. Okay? You know me, guys. I'm not big on drinking anything but water and coffee. But if you do have a cow in the backyard, you can have. Like, I wouldn't have 10 glasses of it. But, I mean, if you want. You got the real cow in the backyard? Go for it. Okay, but you were asking another question. Okay? And this is Kim asking questions number 2. I'm curious about your thoughts on plaque in the bowel. There's no real plaque in your bowels, okay? Now, your bowels might be gummed up, okay, full of feces. And you're asking an annual cleansing of your bowel. Not really. I'm not big on cleansing the bowel. You do it if you drink water and coffee, okay? Your bowel. And the other reason you might not be cleaning properly is if you're low in magnesium, because that affects peristalsis. That's the movement of feces in the bowel. But generally, because fiber is overrated, the best fiber in the world is coffee. Water and coffee will clean your bowel like nobody's business. Okay? You want to do a coffee enema? I got no problem. That's not really cleaning your bowel, because what happens, the coffee enema goes into your liver through the portal vein. But again, you want to do a coffee enema, you want to, I used to get a lot of people asking me about doing the, what were they, colonics, I think they were called. It was really big years ago. I remember when I had my radio show, people were asking me, should I go and get colonics done? And I was very hesitant for that. Okay? The scrubbing of the bowel, you lose all your bacteria. I never really liked that too much. Okay? So I don't think it's big anymore. I hardly hear about it. Is it still going on? There are still practitioners doing that? Colonics? I understand what they're thinking. Like, let's clean the bowel. That gets rid of all your toxins. No, it doesn't. You better clean your liver and keep your kidneys function. Because those are your big detox organs. Yeah, your bowel, sure. But nothing like your liver. And nothing like your kidneys. Okay? So, to answer your question, nah. Okay? I'm not big on that. I'm not big on that. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's see. Who's next here? Come on. That was Kim. Kim's got a cow in the backyard. Joanne, what does Dr. Martin think about Globus sensation? What is recommendation to help cure it? Well, Globus is when you're like, it feels like something, stuff is getting stuck in your throat. I always look at what could the causes be of that, and I've seen it a lot over the years, by the way. A lot of it was postnasal drip, and even postnasal drip can be caused by a silent acid reflux. And that can affect that sensation of, I'm having trouble swallowing, okay? Now, you can have some mechanical problems in that area, meaning the very small esophageal opening. I've seen that before, okay? What do you do if you're that type of person? Well, you better chew your food. And I like, in terms of silent acid reflux, you should be on digestive enzymes, big time. And because oftentimes too, like even with a postnasal drip, you got a fungus. So start with your gut. You have a yeast, and that can coat your throat, big time. Don't feed the bears. Don't give it sugar. And get after it with broad spectrum probiotics. That was Joanne. Thanks, Joanne. Catherine. She's been diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, you know what, Catherine? We're praying for you. Okay? And you, 1 out of 6 women in Canada and the United States in their lifetime will get a diagnosis of breast cancer. We're not winning the war on cancer, by the way. We're not. Okay? We're losing the war on cancer. They raise millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every year. The breast cancer, it's breast cancer month, right? And raise up money, wear pink. I'm not against wearing pink. But I'd like to know what all the research money is going to, because I don't think it's going to a lot of research. The best thing that you can do, and this is proven, best thing that you can do to prevent breast cancer and even to treat it, okay? Even to treat it is high vitamin D therapy. Now listen, the only way to do it properly is to get your dehydroxy vitamin D levels tested. And let me show you some research. I've talked about this a lot, okay? In terms of prevention, you got to be over 60 NGML. That's the American numbers of vitamin D. And that would be at least 150 NMOL-L, Canadian numbers. Vitamin D is the most important factor in breast cancer. Secondly, here's what I would do, okay? Get your estrogen down. Dim it out. Get everything you can to get estrogen away from those breasts of yours. Estrogen is a growth hormone. Estrogen drives cancer. It makes you a woman, but, okay, there's a big but there. It also drives cancer when it's not balanced with progesterone, okay? Now, the other thing is, okay, insulin. We talked about that the other day. Let me give you a few notes that I made on a new study on insulin. That insulin, and especially when you get insulin resistance, you're a carboholic. What you have to be careful about is insulin. What it does is it stops autophagy. That's the body's self-cleaning oven, getting rid of cancer cells and things like that. Secondly, it stops apoptosis. What is that? That's the destruction of damaged cells. So insulin is a driver. Okay? It's on your side till it's not. You need insulin, but you don't need insulin resistance. You don't need so much insulin. If I was you, I'd be on a ketogenic diet. Because cancer needs fuel. It's ravenous. And get your optimized vitamin D, because what vitamin D does for you, every T cell that you own, your Navy SEALs of your immune system, they don't work without vitamin D. And I'll tell you what puts them to sleep too. What supercharges them is vitamin D. What puts them to sleep is sugar. 2, your natural killer cells. They only work properly with they're solar paneled. They got an EV battery. Solar. Charge them up. Okay? So that's really important. Dim out the estrogen. Get the insulin down. Get your vitamin D levels up. Look at, for example, and maybe somebody will post it or I can do it after, what high DHA does to tumors. So if you got breast cancer, I would have you on high DHA. Okay? Those are all things. I talk so much I forget. Okay, hold on a minute. I got to get back to Catherine. Okay? Catherine, that's my protocol. I like curcumin too. I'd add that to it because it's a cancer buster. Okay, now, I mean, you'll hear, if you go and Google this, no, I wouldn't even do by Google, but if you look at ivermectin, which is an antiparasitic, and other things like that, that's sort of not I'm not going to say it's not my expertise. I've read all about it, and I'm not against that at all. Okay? I just tell you what my protocol has been over the years. And I tell you, it's been enormously successful. Okay? Enormously. Now, you know me, okay? And if you don't, you'll get to know me. Here's me. The best is not detection of cancer, is prevention of it. Now, Catherine, you already have it. That does not mean it's a death diagnosis. Okay? Become a lean, mean, fighting machine. Sun, steak, and steel. There you go. Okay? Judy. Hi, Judy. I decided not to go for a vaccine for hepatitis. Okay. And going to Cuba. Okay. Here's what you do. Don't leave home without it. Oil of oregano, probiotics. Oil of oregano, probiotic. Going to Cuba, oil of oregano, probiotic. and take good doses of it every day. Okay? Even if you get vaccinated. Oil of oregano, probiotics. Because, probiotics, the initial thing that came out in probiotics, let's go back 30 years. The initial thing, I had my radio show in those days, you know what they talked about? Oh, yeah, you might take a probiotic. And nobody even knew what they were talking about. For traveler's diarrhea. Okay? Traveler's diarrhea. And I used to chuckle a little bit because I was so big on probiotics. It says a lot more than that. But if you're traveling, yeah, you're going to Cuba, yeah, probiotics, big time. Double up your doses. And thank you for the questions. Now, that was Judy. Jose, I recently weaned off PPIs. Okay. We're praying for you. Because a lot of people have taken PPIs for a long time. Now, I've done a lot of podcasts on this, okay? PPIs. And the problem with PPIs, okay, is the side effects of PPIs. And when you're taking a proton pump inhibitor, you got a lot of side effects. So, Jose has come off of them, okay? And not easy. And Jose, Rome wasn't built in a day. So, what do I mean by that? Be patient. Take your digestive enzymes with every meal. Every meal. Okay? I would have you on a little bit of apple cider vinegar, even before a meal. Our balsamic is very good too. Okay, a little bit. Put some acidity down there, believe it or not. Okay? Because the problem you had is you didn't have enough acidity, and the acidity that you did have was going into your esophagus, not your stomach. Okay? Make sure you're eating the right foods. I think you probably know that. Okay? I can feel the acid coming up after I stop them. Yeah, not easy. Like I said, Jose, it's not easy to come off of these things. Okay? But hang in there. Hang in there. Do everything you can to stay off of them, because at the end of the day, you're not absorbing. You're not absorbing your nutrients properly, and it can come back to bite you with osteoporosis and all sorts of different issues. And much more likely, you should see the studies, much more likely on Alzheimer's and different cognitive problems, dementia, because you're not absorbing minerals and vitamins, and especially B12. You're just not getting it if you're on a PPI. Okay. Anyway, I think you know that, Jose. And if you have any questions, you just be in contact with us, because we'll try and pump up your tires to stay on this thing. Okay? D. Hi, D. I've always wondered if my decision of having implants after my double mastectomy was a good or bad choice. Well, the fact is you've done it. So let's not cry over spilt milk, D. What I make sure, okay, because if you have implants in your body right now, okay, and there's a possibility there's leakage or whatever, toxicity, and so now make your body a lean, mean fighting machine. As I always talk about, you. Start with you and your immune system. What do you do? What do you do? Keep your vitamin D levels. Keep them high. Keep them optimized. Okay? Probiotics. Probiotics, especially L. reuteri, L. rhamnosus and that, they help mop up toxins in your body. Keep your liver clean. Keep your liver clean. Eggs, meat, and cheese keeps your liver clean. Drink water. Keep your kidneys flushing. Your body is a detox machine. Okay? Detox, detox, detox. Liver, kidneys, liver, kidneys. Okay? Very important. That was D. Thanks, D. Okay, Joanne. So much talk, Joanne says, about insulin. Okay, just want to understand something regarding A1C. What is the ideal number? I'm glad you asked, Joanne, because this needs to be repeated. Listen, Linda. Listen, Joanne. Listen, Larry. Okay, listen. A1C, you know me. I love A1C. I love A1C. Why? Because to me, yeah, you can get fasting insulin and all this and that. But the best way, in my opinion, to test insulin resistance is with the A1C test. An average 3 or 4 months, average of your glycated hemoglobin. That's what it means. Sugar attaching itself to a red blood cell, the hemoglobin in the red blood cell. What a measurement. Okay? Doctors, they only use A1C for diabetes, but not me. I use A1C for insulin resistance. And if you are above 5.4, that's the mark. 5.4. If you're above that, you're on the Titanic. You have insulin resistance. You and carbs don't get along. So remember that. Anything above 5.4. 5.4, you're all right. Okay? Try and even get it lower if you can. But 5.4 is the cutoff mark. And that's just been my years and years and years of experience in this. Okay? 5.4 A1C. Thank you, Joanne. We appreciate it. And remember, I like the question because repetition, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. That's me. Okay? Merci beaucoup. Okay. Lucy. Hi, Lucy. I've heard a lot that is recommended to take vitamin D with K2. Well, you heard it from me first. I think. But, Lucy, yeah. Vitamin D, okay, is so good for you. You know me on that. Okay? Now, one of the things it does is it makes, it helps your body to absorb calcium. What the vitamin K2 does, because you all know that, everybody knows that vitamin D is good for your bones. Now, what K2 does is K2 brings the calcium, okay, into your bones and your teeth, okay? And takes it out of your bloodstream. That's why I love vitamin K2. Now, when you eat eggs, meat, and cheese, dairy, cow in the backyard, you get a lot of vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is not found in plants. It's found in the animal kingdom, okay? And that's why I want you to eat animal kingdom, because God, He gave you vitamin K2 with the calcium. There's a lot of calcium in dairy. But in nature, God gave you a gift. It's called K2. Got it? Got the memo? Okay. So, here's the question you're asking, okay? Since we know that cheese contains K2, then here's the question. Does a daily dose of vitamin D together with a piece of cheese have the same effect of taking vitamin D with K2? That's a good question. Look, I recommend you're taking a vitamin D supplement, make sure it has K2 in it. Now, eating cheese is beneficial for sure, because it has K2 in it. But the K2 in the cheese is for the calcium that's in the cheese. not the calcium that you're getting when you take vitamin D, okay? I love it. It's such a good question, okay? Yeah, have your cheese too. Love it. Thank you very much. That was Barbara. And, oh, hold on. That wasn't Barbara. That was Lucy. But Barbara's asking a question about vitamin D3. I'd like to ask Dr. Murn what his opinion about taking high doses of vitamin D3. I like it. Look, the best way to know how to take vitamin D is when you get your vitamin D levels tested. Okay? Is it worth it getting tested for vitamin D? Yes. Your doctor might not think so. Unfortunately, they don't even take 5 minutes of nutrition, so they don't know what they're talking about. Because all they think of is vitamin D and your bones. You don't have osteoporosis. Why do you want to take a vitamin D test? That Dr. Martin, he's a quack. Why do you listen to him? Because I want you to know what your vitamin D levels are. It's a very important test to get done. Okay? It tells you a lot. Optimize your vitamin D. So, yes, take your vitamin D. Okay, 10 minutes, love. What else did she ask? Barbara, how much and how long? Well, it depends. It really does depend. Okay? Now listen. Okay? Because I have to answer this question. Studies have been done on vitamin D and toxicity. Okay? Because every doctor that I know, just about, vitamin D, you're gonna die. It's toxic. You're gonna die. No, you're not. You're gonna die if it's low. That's been proven. Okay? But I'll show you the research that's been done years ago. You would have to take 50,000 IUs a day, every day, for 6 months. Every day for 6 months to even get a kidney stone. The waiting rooms in hospitals, the emergency rooms, they're not full of people. I overdosed on vitamin D. Gee, just go out in the sun. For 20 minutes, you get 10,000 IUs. How can that be toxic? I tell you, there's so much false information out there, and they scare the living life out of people. They're good at it. They're good at it. And this whole thing, just a little side note, this whole thing going on in Canada about, they're going to want, you know what they want, Health Canada wants? Here's what they really want. They want, if you're going to take vitamin D, you're going to need a prescription. Because they're bought and paid for by big pharma. I tell you, there's a war going on. And they use the example of vitamin D because you can get toxic. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, and you can get toxic. Not that they've ever seen a case. You can get toxic from drinking too much water. Do you know that? It can happen. Well, let's stop drinking water. Somebody died from drinking too much water last year. It's silly. Oh. You can see my blood pressure goes up, right? Okay, let's see, because I'm probably going to have to answer the other question. Let me see how many other questions I got. Go to the bottom. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I get too many, so we'll do this Monday again. I get at least 6 more questions. And I'll probably get a few on the weekend. that will want me to answer if I can on Monday morning. Okay, so guys, I'm breathing. I love you dearly and sincerely. And remember, new book coming out. Have you signed up yet? Okay, coming out soon. Rebuilding your temple. Okay, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.